A lot of hard work. I mean, there is no other way to describe it. We've been doing it for close to 3 years as a company, and prior to that, I've been running this blog for 6 years. So, it's a long time. I mean, I started it in exactly in December 2001. So, so all these things take a lot of time. Media companies or even technology startups, everything just needs a lot of hard work, a lot of effort, and that's how you build it. And I think there is no rocket science to it. It is a lot of hard work, and especially when you're trying to build a new brand, you actually have to earn your readership, you have to earn the value of your brand, and that only comes through providing high quality services. It doesn't matter whether you're selling coffee or you're selling content. You just have to provide great value to people who come to your, come to your place. In my case, it's in my blog. I have a very dedicated focus on providing smart analysis in technology and for very high-end readers. I mean, that's the whole point. People who come to my site are looking for a very value-added content. So I know what they're looking for. That's a very important thing, to know what your customers are looking for. In my case, I need to constantly be aware of that and focus on providing the most amount of value to my readers. Well, I went full-time in June 2006. There wasn't anything that made me think that I should go into blogging full-time in June 2006. It was something in the back of my mind, and a lot of things came together, like our funding happened. It became clear that the print media or the traditional media I was involved in was having a tough time making money, and it was going to get tougher. And it kind of became clear that the momentum was shifting towards the kind of things which I was doing with my blog. I think it is a very a lot of people don't seem to realize that finally Moore's Law came to the newsroom, right? And in that sense, you have one or two people can create a pretty good brand if they're smart about it. They can create a media entity. It doesn't necessarily have to be gigantic to be successful, but what they have to have is great community, great content, great relationships with its readers, and it can still thrive, perhaps like what you guys are doing with your community. It doesn't have to be 5 million readers. It just needs to be the 50,000 right readers, and that's it. You can build your business, and I think that's what is going on. The media is changing, adapting, becoming more micro media, more nano media. It's going to go that way. It's just because people have very little time and they need very relevant information, and the only way to do that is by building media entities which are smaller, focused, and highly targeted. So that's what is going on right now. We want to grow through this downturn, right? The plan was to use the new cash to, not only survive but thrive in the downturn. That's the plan. We will acquire other sites. We are in talks to acquire a couple even now. I'm not sure, I can talk about the ones we might buy soon, but the strategy is still in place. I mean, but what I do look for is blogs which are more strategically aligned with us, or they are complementary to things what we do. My view of the world is I look at the whole technology from a broadband centric standpoint. So JK on the Run was an obvious thing because they write about mobile devices, and it was something which was lacking in our network. And they are one of the more established sites, and they have great community. And frankly, I was a reader. That's the primary criteria. I have extremely high standards, and there are very few sites I absolutely love. JK on the Run was one of them. And same as with the Apple blog, right? Like, I love what they were doing. They were just not another Apple blog. They dug deeper, and they wrote interesting analysis and reviews. And I believe in Apple. I think Apple is creating a new kind of a broadband-based gadget ecosystem and consumer electronics, consumer experience, which is very broadband centric. And it makes absolute sense for us to have an Apple blog in that sense. So there'll be some more. I mean, stay tuned. Well, I don't know. I mean, my CEO Paul did most of the heavy lifting, right? That's why he's the CEO. I just am the founder. But to be very honest, I think what helped is that we do have revenues. We have content partnerships with people like New York Times and CNN Money and Business Week and Salon. That helps. So there's a lot of people have a lot of we have credibility in the market. We have revenue base. We are very established events business. So. And we've just expanded into research. Like, we've started doing research reports, not a lot, but so we actually have a very diversified company. We talked to the folks at Alloy and True, and we talked about our plans for the downturn and what we wanted to do and how we wanted to grow through this whole, and they kind of believed in us. And frankly, I didn't really I kind of go with with investors who actually believe in us, right? Like, so I would rather, I don't want to talk about the specifics, but it was a fairly short and sweet and intense, process, and we closed it very quickly. I think they should do it and be prepared for a lot of hard work, right? It's not going to be easy. They will have to work a lot harder than they think they have to. It is not easy. But if they believe in it, they should do it. Like, there's no more joy than chasing your own dream. There's none. It's tough, it's crazy, you have sleepless nights, you have to make a lot of sacrifices. But the dream is yours. I mean, it's like, every kid in India wants to play for the Indian cricket team. I think every Indian kid should grow up trying to, start his own company to change his or her life. I think that's